content creator is somebody who creates educational or entertaining content that can be expressed on any medium or channel. And content is usually associated with digital platforms. Now, today we decided to have a sit down with a very fascinating young man, 22 years old. He created his own YouTube channel and he has his own domain, or you can call it a website. Adeya is a young man who runs his own YouTube channel and a website that goes by the names of Kampala Edge Times. Now, if you're not familiar with the brand, this is a very positive brand that is actually thriving a lot of young people. Now, what he does is very actually interesting. You can call it a more maybe lighter note of chilling. So he brings these young people on the show that are going to inspire and motivate others through maybe positive talk or something that infuses positivity. Now, I'm actually so fascinated and drawn to such young people that are trying to thrive such brands. This all controversy or chaos, I don't really buy that. Now, he's in the building and he's ready to share his story. What you can do is to stick around. Hello and good evening. Welcome to the Best of the Good Life. As usual, my name is Drogo and this, you're watching Chilling.
Hi, my name is Kenny Adeya. I am a professional journalist, a writer and a content creator. I am also the proprietor of Kampala Edge Times, which is an online magazine. I love to write and talk about positive content, talking about the beauty of Uganda and Africa. I come from a Japadola family in Tororo and I am the third born. I'm born to a lady called Naiga Monica and a father known as Ocheng Hannington. I am proudly their child because I have grown up to become a confident person and a God-fearing person. I believe in God, I believe in positivity, and I believe that negative information is harmful to our health. Growing up, I was able to be sponsored by Compassion International, which has groomed Christ-like instincts in me, whereby I have love, I have fear for God, and I'm also caring. I'm a caring person. Therefore, when I look at our media currently, people compare each other, they criticize each other, and that looks like it's what's contributing to the growing rates of depression. It's really not desirable that people are depressed yet they are accessing information. I believe that we can produce positive information for people out there to listen to, inspiration. That's why I love writing. If you visit my YouTube channel, I've interviewed a number of prominent young people who are doing amazing things with their lives such that they can inspire others. That's what I love.
All right, my guest for today believes in one thing, and that's one thing only. He says that if people would look at life as a puzzle, they would gain skills and gain a lot of knowledge. Now, he has this very fascinating sort of career path. It starts at such a tender age, that is 22 years old. You can't make this up. He is a blogger. He is a host of his own show that is running on YouTube, and a very fascinating brother. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please, let's make welcome Mr. Adeya John Kenny. Is in the house. How are you, man?
I am amazing. I am fine.
How does it feel to be on the other side of TV? I mean, you're always the one hosting people. Now, how does it feel for you to be the subject?
It does feel humbling.
Okay.
I think it's a great feeling to be asked questions too. I didn't know this.
Are you looking forward to this?
I am.
Tell me. First of all, I was listening at your profile before, you know, and there's one thing I noticed. So you grew up from Tororo, you said?
That's right.
How was it like, genuinely? How was it like as a child? Do you have any fond memories of that place? I mean, how did it shape you into this character we're seeing right now?
Well, to begin with, I was born in Jinja. I was born in Jinja in Nalufenya, and I bet that place is popular. I was born in Jinja, and I grew up in an environment of Basoga. Basoga are really amazing people. They are very loving. I was groomed to be a humble person. You know, I joined. I was put into Compassion. It's an organization that sponsors young children who have certain issues. My mom happened to pass away when I was only 4, my real mom. So when I was put there, I didn't know much about being put there. What mattered was the gifts, you know, the gifts, the love. You have to write regular letters, and we were preached to Jesus, like they were preaching to us Jesus. And the values to do with Jesus match with being a good person. You have to be humble, you have to, you know, to respect elders. And this really, really helped me grow up as a person who understands other people. I mean, most of us are usually selfish. When you're listening to me, you're listening to what I'm not doing for you. Like when someone asks for money and you tell them you don't have, they will not think about you not having. They'll think about you not giving them. But when you grow up in this environment of being groomed to be a good person, Compassion International, you are groomed to understand other people. So that's the beauty about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, tell me more about Jinja, because what are some of these profound memories you have, like about the place? Because me, I don't happen to go to Jinja alone. But do you have like some cool places that you used to hang out from? Like because Jinja stayed at your heart, you know, and it's always at your heart.
Yes.
But I mean, what's so cool about this place and growing up from that place?
Well, Jinja is such a beautiful place. Everybody should definitely visit Jinja. I mean, the source of River Nile, that is breathtaking. It's one of the most beautiful places you can happen to live near.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to, like, you could look at the waters. They're really refreshing, and the place has a very good climate. I mean, it never gets too hot, but it's always moderate, either moderate or cold. And that's really beautiful. Feels like winter.
Yeah,
Yes.
it feels like winter. Because we all know that Jinja is the capital tourism of Uganda.
Exactly.
Of course, one might debate the other way, but yeah, we all agree. So the whole idea of you narrowing it down to studying journalism, because I know YMCA offers a variety of courses. What was that about? I mean, why did you think that this is the right path for you, journalism?
Well, let me start. Let me rewind a little. Leaving Jinja, I left Jinja when I was 9 in 2009. Literally, my age goes with the years.
Yeah.
So in 2009, we left Jinja and we went to Tororo. So fast forward, high school, I contested as a prefect. Yes, I was able to contest as a prefect, and that's when my confidence to stand before people and talk about content and information started. So when I was in high school and I got this insight, I loved writing, I loved presenting news. So that's how I got my passion for journalism. I reached, when I finished high school, my points were not good enough for a bachelor's, but I was really pushed. Okay, like my mindset was towards writing and journalism. So I said, no, let me go to YMCA. And that's what I did. I had to go there, picked forms and applied. I met wonderful people there. Within my first 2 weeks, I was hosted for a show on NBS.
Wow.
And my friends and family were fascinated. It was so fascinating. I couldn't believe I was on TV. I was nervous. I was so small, but yeah. I was on TV. It was so beautiful.
Is that when you fell in love with television?
Yes.
Yeah.
I began to fall in love with how free these people are.
Yeah.
It was so beautiful how hospitable it is to be in front of the camera. It comes with nerves. You feel nervous, but the people around you are so beautiful. They are so amazing, and I realized that yes, that's what I have to do as well.
Yeah. Now, one thing. Now we're going to dwell into how you came to get yourself so fascinated with how Maurice does this, because Maurice is our boss at the station. Are you aware of this?
I follow him on Twitter.
Okay. Now, tell me, when did you feel the urge of you wanting to tell stories? Because listen, I told you before the camera rolled that I have a passion and a compassion for wanting to extract conversations from people. I feel like it's something that constantly that I do. Me, myself, I'm a very inquisitive person. Like, I would randomly be somewhere in public and I'll be already asking people questions, even when I don't know them. So is it the same case with you? Like, where has that passion come from?
Well, my passion comes from the fact that I believe that everybody has good in them. This good in everybody. I believe we become what we consume. You get? If you're always receiving negative information that you'll never make it, that people who are trying to make it are being killed, definitely you're not going to make it. But if you know that in yourself there is an originality, you are original, you can make a difference. Definitely, you can make it in life.
When was your first time that you saw Maurice?
I saw
delivering.
Maurice.
When was the first time?
My first time to watch Maurice Mugisha was in 2008. I think that's when NTV appeared in Jinja. We were using an antenna, not a dish. So that's when it came on air. So I was like,
what was it about him that you loved?
What I loved about him was his confidence. Like, he was really, there was a whole different wave of the kind of news reading that came around on TV at that time. We were used to WBS, NBS, where news was minor. You only focus on what they are talking about, but the reader was not so much. Yeah. But when I saw Maurice was so charismatic, let me use that word, with Rosemary the late. I loved their duo. I can call it that.
You would just compliment a cup of tea with their bulletin. You'll be like, this is so interesting.
It was really
look at John. Look at this. So we're going to take a break and we shall stay talking about you yourself. And now later on, we shall also unveil something very new that some people are not even familiar with. And that is KET. I call it Kate. That is Kampala Edge Times. Now, in case if you're wondering what Kampala Edge Times is, please stick around. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to the best of the good life. In case you're just joining us, my name is Rego. And today, we decided to host a very fascinating man. He's a content creator and he's the owner of his own content, by the way. It's a very good thing. The trick about this generation of ours, content is the new oil. If you can, if you can understand what that means, like content is actually so important. And then this young man had decided to come up with his own content that actually targets positivity. Now, one would think that's a very crazy idea, but who doesn't want controversial news or controversial content? They say that controversial content finds a way of making news, or it's newsworthy, but he doesn't believe in that idea. So he came up with his own channel that is called KET, which is Kampala Edge Times. But on top of that, he also has a domain or a website that you can also find some fascinating articles that are also very inspiring and motivating. Now, on these platforms, he gets an opportunity to host people that are telling positive things, people that are inspiring, people that are motivating others. And wait, that's the way to go with life. And without further ado, I want to introduce him again and let him continue with it. So tell me, John, one would think it's a very crazy idea for you to say that I want to come up with content that is positive, because people are so, it's crazy, but people are so fascinated with controversial things. People want things that, it's so chaos, you know, things that are, you know. So why did you nail into positivity and wanting to do something more into the light?
First of all, what I would like to specifically highlight is that I was inspired by New York Times. Like, when you look at New York Times, it's from the US. New York Times is not always rubbing people's names and destroying people's reputation. It's not defaming anyone. It's mostly making New York look like a great place to go to, you know? Everybody, I mean, even you are admiring to go to the New York, because that's what is published about New York. Nobody's always talking about, you know, the wrong stuff that goes on there. They are always promoting. So I would like Kampala Edge Times to be the brand that makes Uganda and Africa a beautiful destination, you know? Because there's a lot of misperception, if that word exists. There's a wrong perception about Africa. Uganda has advanced, and there's a lot of good stuff that we can write about our country. In a few years, when you Google about Uganda, I promise you, we shall be seeing beautiful information about our country.
So you somehow got tired of people portraying the worst image of Uganda in particular, or Africa. So you wanted to make a change. One will also be wondering, where do you get these funds? And I think that's where American, is it Alliance? Yes. US Alliance comes in. Tell me a little bit about that and how you won that prize.
Well, in 2020, that's when Corona happened, right? Yeah, so during that period of Corona,
the first wave.
Yes, that's when my creativity increased. We were at home. Dad and Mom went to the village. That's when my grandmother passed away. May her soul rest in peace. Yeah, so during that time I became more creative, and I made a video to do with corporal punishment. So this video was nominated in a competition that was happening in the US. It was a campaign to fight the hitting of children. Like, why do we beat children? Children are also humans. I mean, there are schools that believe that children have to be caned. And yet, you as a human being, if you're beaten, you're going to the police to report people. Where is it written that kids are supposed to be beaten? That's wrong. So, when I made that video, it was nominated, and there were other contestants in this competition, American contestants, to be precise. And in 2020, I happened to be the third best in that competition. My video came in as third best, and I was awarded $1,000. That was a beautiful thing during a lockdown.
It was.
Yeah, it was really beautiful. So I said, this, I'm not going to use it as, you know, to eat it. I'm going to grow this brand. So I had to afford a laptop. I had to afford more equipment to improve my quality, because initially I was using a smartphone for everything. But now here I am. I have professional editing material. I have to buy courses and learn how to edit. So it improved my work. But then I was also promoting positivity. I was promoting that kids are not the ones who deserve to be beaten.
Do you even have aspirations of maybe joining mainstream media or working on TV one time? Because me personally, and honestly, I will tell you, don't need that. This is the new age. This is a new era. You just, for example, get a good phone or your own camera. You have a YouTube channel where you can upload and the whole world gets to see your content. But what is your target with this? I mean, do you ever wish to join mainstream media? Maybe work on TV or radio or something?
Well, I wouldn't want to limit myself, but this brand is not dying away in any time. I mean, if I'm to join mainstream media, I must continue my content as well. It must continue running, because I'm not competing with probably these blogs that are selling controversial news. Museveni has done this, Bobby has done this. I'm not trying to compete with them. I can work with TV, but I have my positive content. Yes, I'm not trying to compete with their space. So definitely, I wouldn't say no to mainstream media.
So why do you think you're good enough for that?
Why I think I'm good enough? It's because it has groomed my confidence. You guys, I have grown to become a person who is more open through this. I began it jokingly, you know, with the people I know, sending to family, friends, people who joke with me often. But it has become real. I remember people telling me, bro, what you're doing is big. Nobody just does that. So that's how my confidence began growing. It sounded like they were flattering me, but it actually worked. In their jokes of calling me a great person, a famous person, which I don't actually intend. I intend Kampala Edge Times to be great. Yeah, as a brand to grow positivity.
What makes you think that this is good enough for my audience or for people?
What makes it good enough is
No, I mean, like, what goes through your selection process? Okay. Because what I saw, you mostly also tackle news, right?
Yes.
You could have maybe a bunch of news breaking out from different places, but what makes you say that this is the exact kind of story or something that would interest my audience?
Well, I decide what to upload and write about basing on how it's going to benefit someone. I mean, myself, would I Google that? I wouldn't go around Googling who has killed who. I would go around Googling what is Juliana's net worth. You get? I would like to meet Juliana and ask her questions because people are going to Google about that. But I wouldn't want to write about her doing something wrong because that is going to expire in 24 hours. Within 24 hours, I promise you, a controversial story is going to expire because everybody knows it. Who wants to know more about it? Actually, the short answer is my selection process is relevance, long-term relevance. Is this story going to be relevant in 10 years? That is worth to be on Kampala Edge Times.
Okay, so where do you see Kampala Edge Times in, let's say, a few years from now?
In a few years from now, I see Kampala Edge Times growing into the #1 source for inspiration and trends. And this, when I say trends, I mean fashion, I mean entertainment, where you want to get this kind of content, minus the controversies, you know? You know, people mix trends and chaos. No, trends is good stuff. If you look at it mathematically, trends is, you know, going up or down. It's not specifically going down. You get? Yes. So that's what it will be. It will be the #1 source. When you want to find out who has a show, it will be a magazine. That's what I call it. Visual magazine.
So any last message you want to pass out to anyone watching you or has even been following you from the start?
My final message could be that if you're out there and you have an idea in your mind, please put it out there. Whoever knew that I would amaze someone in America who has never met me. I still communicate to Professor George Holden. I believe he will watch this video. Professor George Holden, thank you for being hospitable. I mean, whoever knew that that would happen? If I didn't do it, if you don't do something, it will never happen. I promise you. If you don't reach out to that girl, you will not get her. And even if you're not supposed to get her, she will never know. You know? So whatever you want to do, do it. As long as it's not going to harm other people, do it. It's going to change the world. A lot of people are going to be changed. Right now, a lot of my friends believe in me, and I thank them. I thank all of my friends who have believed in me that I have gotten the push, the courage to do what I do, and I keep improving it. I promise to improve my quality, my content, increase the amount of stuff that I do. Yes, and I'm going to work with a lot of people. I work with A friend of mine is called Maende Collins. He also contributes to my website. I work with Nathan. He's called Nathan Mwesigwa. I work with Namwera Faith Zipora. Those are my writers. We work together.
Wow.
Just that for the videos, it's still me alone because the others are not journalists. They're lawyers, they're teachers. So for now, I'm in the video
Remind
side.
people how they can follow you or follow your works.
Well, Kampala Edge Times is accessible through YouTube. Mainly, you can watch my videos, a lot of content right there. Even the lyrics videos that I used to do, they are all there. You can watch them. In case you want a lyrics video, you can DM me on Twitter. I am on Twitter as John Kenny Adeya, but also Kampala Edge Times is on Twitter. Kampala Edge Times on it's Kampala ET on Twitter. There's Kampala Edge Times on Instagram, Kampala Edge Times on Facebook, and also our website kampalaedgetimes.com, which is starting actually to accept adverts. So if you're out there and you want to advertise, please go ahead and DM us on Twitter or Facebook, and we shall get through running. It's affordable because here we are. We are taking the first step.
Wow,
Yes.
that is a step in the right direction. John, thank you very much for spending your time to come and chill with me. It has been nice knowing you and knowing what you're doing. Please keep on doing whatever you're doing because it's a great thing. You're changing the nation.
It has been so ecstatic being here. I love chilling
Yeah.
with the big boys.
Yeah, we're definitely chilling with the big boys. Woo! Talk about Ugandan excellence. John himself at 22 years old. Amazing. I'm so blown away. I must tell you that, hey, you have to change your way of living and be as positive as this young man. He's doing something for change. Where are you? What are you doing? Come on, leave the controversial stuff alone, all the chaotic stuff. Join him and join his movement. All right, we are going to go for now, and we shall be back next time with an incredible episode. Thank you for tuning into the show, and thank you for being a great audience. Bye, and good evening.